Welcome, welcome, welcome everyone.
Welcome.
How are you this evening? Welcome, Sister Aj.
Yes, ma'am.
We are so we are so happy to have you join us for letting go of stress. This is this evening's topic: identifying your purpose and tapping into creativity.
Mm-hmm.
But before we get into our meditation and we get into our discussion, we always like to share a little bit about the benefits of meditation.
Mm-hmm.
Um, my name is Sister Omi Sachette, and Sister Aj is here with me, and this is what we are going to be sharing with you this evening. So, Sister Aj, when we talk about the benefits of meditation, we're sharing that on the screen. I think
Mm-hmm.
most people recognize that it will help them feel calmer or more relaxed. But maybe, what are some benefits that you personally um, gain from your own meditation practice? Maybe we can share a little bit.
For me, meditation is really all about rest and restoration because I am a person that stays in my head a lot. I overanalyze, I overthink. Because I've been on my own for so long, on my life's journey since I was young. It's just that, when you're a doer of all your own things, you're responsible for your
Mhm.
life in so many ways. Um, you begin to be an overanalyzer and an overthinker because you
Mhm.
just basically, rely on yourself. You know what I'm saying? And I'm really working on reaching out for help and letting my community and my family know that I need support, but that's not something that I've always been well versed in. I'm
Mhm.
here always supporting other people, helping, always have helped other people, served other people, but I have not really been open to allowing people to help and serve me. So that's something within myself. So I use meditation to be able to reset and recalibrate my mind so I'm not so absorbed in my mind, if
Mhm.
that makes sense. I know how to meditate and allow my mind to rest. And I also, meditation has allowed me to know when I need rest
Mhm.
because of how our lives are set up. A lot of times we just go, 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 do, which also brings stress into our minds, our bodies, and our souls. And so for me, I have been starting to be very attentive and intentional about when my body is saying that I need rest. I would love to say yes to everything and everyone, but meditation has allowed me to acknowledge when my body is, I'm exerting too much energy and I'm over absorbed into too many things that's external.
Mhm. Mhm.
And so,
Absolutely.
I have brought napping. Meditation has allowed me to welcome myself or give myself permission to nap. um that has never been something that has been in my routine of taking a nap. When I go to bed, I go to bed, but now during the day I will check in with my body through meditation, and if I need to rest, I'll go up and take a nap. I even sometimes take a nap at my studio when I just need to take a break, even if it's 15 or 20 minutes. um
Absolutely.
just
Mhm.
to rest my mind from all of the thoughts that's going through constantly and consistently, because that is how, mental health begins. Mental illness, a disruption in our mental capacity, happens because we have our mind on way too much. And so that's what meditation has helped me with mostly.
Mhm. Mhm. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for sharing that, Sister Aj. I think that if I share, how meditation has benefited me, I think overall as a practice, to know that there is a inner place of peace that I
Mm-hmm.
can always access within myself. And
Yes.
also to know that I deserve um, inner peace, and that there's some place within myself that is the real truth. So I don't want to get too philosophical about it, but when I say the real truth, what I mean is if I am breathing, which is part of meditation, and I am thinking about my breathing, the source of that breath, the source of where, of what's what is helping me to breathe, because that's not something that we consciously think of. We just breathe. But when you meditate, you bring your attention to something that's already happening, that's so far beyond your own physical limitations, so to speak. So whatever you call that, whatever, if you call it God, if you call it the creator, if you call it spirit, that really kind of meditation kind of reveals you to the truth of yourself, of perhaps your direction, of what you need to let go. So for me, it can shift in the results depending upon what I need at the time. But it always is my connection with my inner peace and my truth, the truth of who I am. So I just felt like we should share that this evening. But from our list here, um, obviously, definitely reduces stress stored in the body, um, strengthens the sense of identity and self worth, can boost your immune system. I don't think a lot of people realize, deep breathing, putting the body in a state of more relaxation or balance can help your immune system, helps deepen your spiritual connection, helps release internalized societal pressure. That's really important these days because we hear so many things from outside of us that make us feel like we don't have control. But meditation reminds you of your control, reminds you of your breathing, of something that is not disrupted by a law, by finances, because you're always breathing. So, Sister Ajay, do you have anything to add to that?
No, I think the art of breath is definitely the most important component to meditation, because
Mhm.
it allows you to arrest your thoughts. Because in our community, we never really get time or in our routine to really relax our minds. So much of what we do on an everyday basis consumes our mind. We never really get rest and restoration. And even when we go on vacation, and I find this for me as well, it takes me 2 days to be on vacation, even though I'm there physically. But
Yeah.
mentally, I'm still attached to all the things that I do in my life. Concerned about my children. I'm making sure, I did everything at the house. The stove is off, the
Mhm.
door is locked, all the things for the first 2 days. That's what my mind is on because it takes me time to digress.
Mhm.
So I noticed that, and that's because I'm not allowing my mind to reset and restore and rejuvenate when I am in my everyday lifestyle. So even though I'm on vacation and I just went to Thailand, it happened to me. It took 2 days for me to actually
Mhm.
be present in Thailand, to
Mhm.
really take in all of what was there and disconnect from the world that I live in. It took me 2 days to do that. And that's because
Mhm.
so much is on my mind. So what I did is I began to do deep inhalations, full deep breaths, and just started letting things just fall away from my mind. I'm not in
Mhm.
control of anything that was over here in the States. Even if something was to occur, I had to leave it in the Most High's hands. I had to take my hands off of it and surrender, which is something that is not part of my normality.
Right, right, right.
Surrendering. But I had to surrender, because if not, what was the use of going to Thailand and spending all those hours in the air to get
Mm,
there if I wasn't going to be present? And so
yeah,
I shared with the ladies on the retreat that the one main thing that I wanted to do is meditate and allow myself to relax so I can be present with the experience that I was having. Otherwise, it was really no use of me going, because you're still connected to everything you were connected to here. So
yeah,
breath, deep breathing, because a lot of times we need to acknowledge that we're really just shallow breathing. We think that breath is on autopilot, and it's really not. So without our bodies and our minds and our bloods getting enough oxygen through deep breathing, our brains are not being oxygenated like they should be, which keeps stress in our bodies as
yeah,
well. And so correct breathing is definitely an important component of meditation. And even when I'm doing that with the clients that I coach, a lot of people don't realize that they're not really breathing
yeah,
until
yeah.
we start doing deep, full breaths, and they like, man, I don't even feel like I'm breathing like this
Mm,
ever. So
mm,
other than that type of breath, you're really just shallow breathing, which is
yeah,
energy follows oxygen. Energy follows breath. So if you have a slow breath, if you have a low breath, then you have low energy.
yeah, 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 absolutely. Yep. If you're not getting enough oxygen into your body, it could be a contributing factor to your fatigue. But you don't really learn about the differences in the breath until you start practicing it. And
That's
that's
right.
what's so amazing about it. Like, oh, okay. And it's
I'm
free.
breathing now.
I'm
Yeah. Yeah.
breathing. I can do it whenever I want. So even
Yes.
as we prepare to have our guided meditation, what I want to say to those who are watching, whether you're watching live or whether you're watching our recording, if this is your first time, if you're not really very experienced about meditation, it's not complicated at all. There are different forms of it, but what you
Mm-hmm.
need to know in this moment is that you just close your eyes and you're going to inhale through your nose and exhale slowly through your mouth, having the breath pass through your lips, uh, as if you were going to blow out a candle or try to whistle. Okay. So your eyes should be closed. I hope that you have turned your phone to silent and allows yourself to begin to pay attention to your own inhale and exhale. And you'll listen to the sound of my voice as I guide you through this guided meditation. So I want you to begin by simply just noticing that you are where you are. That in this moment, right now, wherever you're sitting upon, or you could be laying back and be stretched out either on a chair or on the floor or on the couch or in your bed, wherever you are in this moment, just notice that this is exactly where you need to be. There's nowhere else that you need to be, nothing else you need to do in this moment. Just allow your body to be present and to slow down. Now let's all together take a slow, deep breath in through the nose and exhale out through the mouth. Again, let's take a slow, deep breath in through the nose. And slowly exhale through. Now, breathing on your own in your own rhythm and pace. Allow your breath to move through you like a soft wave, steady and smooth. With every exhale, release a little bit of tension, just letting the body soften naturally without forcing anything. And if you find that thoughts come into your mind, that's okay. Allow them to be. You just keep focusing on each inhale and exhale. Bring your attention back to your breath. And you can become an observer of those thoughts and allow your patience to be with your breathing, with each inhale and exhale. Now, at this moment, I'd like you to notice your forehead. Bring your attention there. And imagine a soft, warm light there. Maybe imagine that the warm sunlight is shining on your forehead, melting away any tightness, any tension that you might be carrying there. And continue to focus on each inhale and exhale. And carrying that visualization of warm sunlight relaxing your jaw and letting it unclench now. And bring this warm sunlight to your shoulders. Taking a deep inhale and exhale, softening the shoulders, feeling them gently sink down and away from your ears. And now paying attention to your hands. Allow your hands to rest in your lap. And to take a deep inhale and exhale and allow your hands to release and relax. Bringing that warm sunlight through the belly, softening your belly, and bringing that warm sunlight through your hips, allowing the warm sunlight to travel down your legs all the way to the tips of your toes. Taking a deep inhale and exhale. Give your body permission to relax even more deeply now. Now bring your attention to your breath, just as it is. Notice each inhale. Notice each exhale. There's no need to change it. Just simply observe it. Remember, if mind wanders, that's okay. When you notice your mind drifting, Just kindly and gently bring it back to your breath. Back to this moment that always repeats itself. Each time you come back, you are strengthening your own ability to practice mindfulness. You are practicing being in the present moment again and again. Now imagine a gentle light surrounding you, a calm, peaceful glow. This light supports you, it protects your peace. It reminds you that you are safe in this moment. Let that light fill your mind, your heart, and your body, bringing ease, quiet, and calm. And continue to focus on each inhale and exhale, allowing your breath and the focus of your breath to take you to even deeper and deeper places of peace and inner awareness. Now, take a slow, deep breath in and exhale, full breath out. And gently bring awareness back into your body. Feel the surface beneath you. Notice the weight of your body resting on whatever your body is resting against. Notice the soles of your feet and your connection to the earth. Take a deep inhale and exhale. Take another deep inhale and exhale. And when you are ready, slowly open your eyes, bringing with you a sense of calm, presence, and relaxation. And take a moment now to notice how you feel. Okay. So I invite you to just take a moment. Just be with yourself for a moment. There is the meditation, and there's the moments after the meditation. Just take a few more moments to check in how you feel. And if you have anything that you would like to share, you can type in the comments and we'll be able to see the comments if you have any questions, if you have anything you'd like to share at this time. Sister Ajay, and how are you? Anything that you would like to share?
Mm, our topic is really about letting go of stress so you can be
Mm-hmm.
more creative. I think this is a time that we all are creating a new life and a new way of being, because the world is definitely different. And I think it is a time that we can create our newest self,
Mm-hmm.
leaving our old self behind. A lot of the things that we want to disengage or leave behind, a lot of our past, a lot of trauma, things that have hurt or harm you in any kind of way, whether it be mentally, emotionally, or spiritually or physically, but just really stepping into creating a new you. I feel like that's really where I am, is really stepping into who that I am, who that I know that I've been created to be, and walking in that light, not associating any of the things that I have been or that I have had done, not allowing them to come into this new way of me being
Mm-hmm.
who I feel that I am at this time, and not judging myself based on my past, but
Yeah.
creating a whole new slate for me to vibrate higher and definitely be on more of a peaceful frequency, and not
Mm-hmm.
allowing things to really interrupt my peace, or take things personally, but
Mm-hmm.
knowing that what people do, and how people are, is just a reflection of where they are at that time in their life. It doesn't really have anything to do per se with me. It has everything to do with who they are. So I don't need to judge it. I don't need to take offense to it. I don't need to take it in. I need to be able to stay, in the realm of liberation and freedom and peace that I have within myself, and not allowing people to create any disharmony about that.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
so I'm definitely in a creative state right now, just creating the life that I feel like I deserve and that I definitely desire, and being more, exerting more energy in that space than what is happening in the world around me, or what people are doing in the world around me, but just really being in my own, creating my own world
Mm-hmm.
is really where I'm at this particular time in my life, just creating the world that I want to be in, and from my own perspective of what I feel like the world should look like. Not that it is that world in the physical, but I can always have the power to create my own world
Mm-hmm.
and live it according to how I want to live it. And we do have that power to do that and create that.
Yeah, I think that I definitely agree with that because what happens is when you uh, m- make meditation a regular practice, it's almost like different, it's almost like your breath becomes a key to opening different locks within yourself. Things that, when I say locks, maybe things that you might not have wanted to deal with, or ideas that you pushed aside, or new ideas. So I too, during this time, what's coming through for me in my own personal meditations. And I'd like to share that when I mention meditation, I might not always have my eyes closed and sit for 20 minutes or 15 minutes. You know, you can take 3 deep breaths and focus on something with the eyes open, something that's beautiful or something that brings you calm. And that can be considered a mini meditation. I feel like I need to say that because I do know that so many people say, I'm too busy to meditate. I don't have time. Well, I'd like to share at this time. I remember many, many years ago, when I used to work in the Wall Street area. Um, I did not, during the day, in that busy, busy environment, it might appear like there's no way that I could meditate. However, if I sat at my desk, I remember there was one job that I had. Um, it was right across the street from the Trade Center. So, this is a long time ago. The World Trade Center is not there anymore. And I had like everyone had, when you work in a cubicle, you have your own little space. You can, put whatever you need to put to make yourself feel comfortable. Well, this is coming to mind. I hadn't thought about it for years. Maybe someone needs to hear it. I got what you call a little Zen garden. When I say little, it could fit on my desk. Maybe it was 10 inches by 4 inches, had sand in it. And I put little crystals in it. And that was my decoration. And when I felt that I needed a moment, I could take the little tiny rake and, move it through the sand on my desk. It was quiet, it wasn't bothering anyone. And I could take a couple of breaths because when we work in those situations and we sit in offices, we might be doing different things now, like scrolling on Facebook. Okay, so you might not physically have a Zen garden in your desk, but you might have a little plant. You might have a picture of something that brings you joy. And you can just look at that particular thing and just take a few deep breaths. And going back to that story, I remember I had the people that I worked for a department of investment bankers. And I would help them put together their presentations. They got into the habit to say, I'm coming to your desk to get a Zen break. And they would come and play with the sand. So I hadn't thought about this example in years, but I wanted to speak to whoever might be watching and saying, oh, but I don't have time. You're always breathing. You are always breathing. So you can begin by reminding yourself to take three or four deep breaths when you're feeling a little overwhelmed during the day. And that counts as a meditation too. That will help you to remember that there's an inner peace inside of you. So I want to talk a little bit more about our topic, purpose and creativity, and how that might connect to meditation. Um, Meditation can, like I said, open you up to so many different aspects of yourself. And often, after you meditate, or it could happen while you're meditating, you might get an idea. It could be an image, it might be something that you say to yourself. It could come in any way. You might get an idea either about something that you're thinking about doing, something you always want to do, or it could be something completely different, something that you never thought of before. And I do encourage you that when those kinds of thoughts come up after a meditation or during meditation, as long as they're positive, and I stress positive, then these are thoughts that you could explore, that you could put in the back of your mind or even write down on a piece of paper. Let me check this out. Why am I saying that? Well, when we look at purpose and creativity, and they're two of the Kwanzaa principles, Nia being purpose and Kuamba being creativity. Um, both of those types of insights can be gained through meditation. I think I've curved my own career a few times in my life, but I've also been meditating. Next year will be 40 years. So, for all of that time, to different stages in my life, I had this practice that would help me to identify when a change needed to be made. And what I also learned, not only will can meditation give you clues, but you can also take certain thoughts into meditation with you. And what do I mean by that? Is, let's say, for example, well, I'll give an example of what I'm currently working on and how you can use meditation to kind of help reveal and open you up to ideas and opportunities. So, I'm currently at the end of this year reflecting upon my own business and, where I would like it to be, how I would like it to grow, what I would like to uh, advertise, what classes I want to offer, how to make different changes in my website, etc. So those are the those are the tasks. But what meditation can help you do, you can think about those things as you are settling into meditation, but you could also ask yourself, and how would I feel? What feeling am I going for by, like in my example, what feeling am I striving to accomplish by working on these things related to my business? Now, the answer to that question could be freedom, it could be joy, it could be financial freedom, it could be prosperity, but whatever the answer to that type of question is, you could also take that into your meditation. Meaning, if freedom was one of the answers, then as you are inhaling and exhaling, really just focusing on the breath, but focusing on how will freedom make you feel? What will that look like? What will that be like? So there's different ways to look at how you could use meditation, and why purpose and creativity go hand in hand is that if you have identified what your purpose is, or if you have a purpose for doing something, or there's some type of purpose that you feel that's in your life, tapping into creativity will give you the ways that you can manifest that purpose or solve problems related to that purpose. So, again, we wanted to look at purpose and creativity and how can that be connected to meditation. I think that what you discover when you begin to meditate on a regular basis is that you actually can experience your own self, that no two meditations will be exactly the same. But what will be the same is that you will learn different aspects of yourself. You will learn how to um, bring yourself to a more relaxed state of being. You will learn how to see maybe what is filling your mind up. When we say that if you have thoughts that come up, it's normal, okay? But it's also good to see what those thoughts are, because you can see what your mind is busy with, and really ask yourself, um, what meaning does that have to you? Why do you feel maybe that these thoughts are coming up? Or even to recognize that this is why you need to take a breath break. That's why you need to meditate, because you have all of these thoughts and these feelings that are moving around. So I think it's also a good time of year to kind of explore what your purpose is. What is your purpose going to be for 2026? That's a little different than setting goals. What is When I say what is your purpose, asking yourself, maybe fine tuning that question, how will I identify my purpose and how will I express it in this upcoming year and beyond? Again, these are questions that you can actually bring into your meditation. And when you get to a point where you're just breathing and you're just focusing on the breath, letting that question go and allowing whatever is going to come up for you. Okay. So um, it's really interesting to see that, one particular type of practice, which is the breathing, can be, if I would like to say, seeded, like you could plant seeds. So I've talked about purpose, but you can plant seeds into your meditation that will help you to reveal your purpose. And part of what you will notice will happen is the ideas will come. And that's the creative part of you. When you start realizing, hey, I never, thought of this before, but this is a good idea. Or maybe you start noticing um, things that you never scrolled on before, that you're paying attention to, because it might have to do with your purpose. Maybe your purpose is to change your diet in the upcoming year. Maybe your purpose is to grow food. That's one of my favorites. Maybe that might be your favorite for the upcoming year. And then if you take that into meditation, you might start getting creative ideas on how to accomplish that. So, Sister Ajay, I've just been talking about the connection between meditation and how it can help you with your, reveal and identify your purpose, and how that purpose can be fueled by creative ideas that come from meditation. What are some of the insights in terms of that connection between meditation, purpose, and creativity that you might like to share?
Well, I feel, let me put it that way. Purpose, we all have a divine purpose in this life. Um, the society and the system that we are in, it distracts us from our soul purpose. A lot of times it's challenging for people to find what their soul's purpose is. And
Hmm.
so when I was speaking before about creating yourself, reinventing yourself into your new, you're going to have to sit, and I just know for me, meditation has allowed me to be present with that, to really sit with what I feel like my soul's purpose is. And like you said, as I sit deeply with meditation, I get downloads, more and
Mhm.
more downloads that help me bring all of the creative parts that my soul's purpose is going to need. All the parts that make up my soul's purpose, I get downloaded messages from my meditation, getting still, getting quiet, not wanting to know or thinking that I know, but being more present with feeling
Mhm.
what it is that the soul feels. Because we are very intuitive, but when we are blocked and our energy is blocked and our minds are blocked and our heart is blocked, then it's very challenging for us to receive those downloads about
Mhm.
our purpose, our soul's purpose, and how we need to create new things for us to actually elevate and evolve. Things that you have never ever had an idea of in,
Mhm.
prior, will start coming upon you. Um, but you have to be open to it because you may not know a lot about it. You know,
Right.
it's something you may have to learn because we've been indoctrinated with, what they want us to know, how they want us to live, what is valuable, what is worthy, what is love, what is so many things. But we have to sit with what is those things to our soul,
Mhm.
because the love that this world has indoctrinated us is really about romance more than unconditional love, when it is our soul has come here to experience unconditional love. But the
Mhm.
society has taught us romantic love. And so just using that as love is creative.
Mhm.
Love is different for each person. Everyone is open to create their version of love. My love
Absolutely.
language may not look like your love language. I had a guy friend ask me the other day, he said, Ajay, what is your love language? I said, loyalty is my love language.
Mhm. Mhm.
And I asked him what his love language was, and he said affection.
Mhm.
That's his love language. And so, having meditated and sat with it, I know loyalty is my love language. I love loyalty. And in every aspect of the word, I love loyalty. Um, And for me, it's loyalty over love, because I don't feel like you can love someone deeply and genuinely and authentically enough if you don't have a sense of loyalty.
Mhm. Yeah.
And that is why a lot of times we're not having creative relationships. We're not having purposeful relationship. People are interacting with people, and then the next week, they could be done with that person.
Mhm.
Well, now we got to question, what was your whole purpose of that person being in your life? What
Absolutely. Yeah.
what benefit did they have? If you can be in somebody's life one week and then the very next week, based on a disagreement, that person can be disregarded, then that wasn't a love. That wasn't a loyal love, because you wouldn't have been able
Mhm.
to just let it go so quickly and so easily. And so for me, being creative with how I love, it may not look like how the world says I need to love, but I
Mhm.
get to create my own love language based on what my soul is saying to me, based on
Mhm.
what nourishes my soul, and I create that every day. That's
I
how
like
I create my soul's purpose for experiencing love, because that's what we're here for, is to have an experience.
Mhm.
We're
Mhm.
here to have an experience. Now, whether we're having the best or most creative experience, we are the designers of that. And I
Mhm.
know this world, you know, though it's been designed in a certain way, in a certain fashion, but we must never lose sight of that we are creatives.
Mm-hmm.
We can create the life. We have the power to create the life that we want to live.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And it's not exactly the way that we have been taught in school, or even um, certain corporate strategies or things of that sort. As I heard you talking about love, I said, that sounds like our topic for February, where we could explore the different types of love, the different types of, like you said, love languages, because people don't recognize what you just shared, that even when you're getting to know someone, how many people say, well, what's your love language, what does it mean to you? And to hear those responses, are that's a good thing. Okay. um because you can get clarity, so maybe that might be something that we might focus upon in February. um I know that we're getting ready to wrap up in a couple of minutes. I think I invite anyone who might be watching. If you have a question or a comment, you can let us know now so that we can comment back to you. Okay. So I'd like to take this opportunity to really thank you for listening to this discussion. We'll be here next week. And I hope that if you are watching the recording, that you will also enjoy the meditation and the discussion. And if you are watching this live stream, you can also watch this live stream over again. So, again, for those of you who might be new to meditation, getting accustomed to meditation, uh, you can rewatch the live streams, and it will help you in your own personal practice. So, I am going to wish everybody a good evening, because it is evening now. I'm going to say good night. Thank you for joining us. I'm going to say goodnight for Sister Aj. Looks like she's having some technical issues, but thank you so much for joining us. Now, if you want to contact us, both Sister Aj and I have classes, have services available. Sister Aj has products. I have some upcoming classes coming up that you can take into the new year. So as we sign off, we're going to take a few minutes to show our contact information. You'll see um, a way to contact us via Linktree. And I hope that anyone that is celebrating the holidays will have a very wonderful holiday season. You can click the QR code. We're going to keep it up for a little bit. And that's the way that you can contact either one of us, myself, Omi Shashet, or Sister Aj. Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, and be well.